Hi everyone, my name is Aman and I would like to discuss about a technical document from the European Union. This document falls under one of my career interests within data science, so within this video I would like to go over my impressions and thoughts about this document for any of you interested in this field. Throughout reviewing this technical document and slash report on a sample deliverable on statistical analysis and data mining requirements, the primary purpose of this document is to inform the reader a deep understanding of the requirements within data science. From the table of contents, it lays out the order for the documents where it achieves this purpose through breaking it down into several main chapters. For example, data mining and analytics needs and tasks is one chapter separate from tools. Even further in tools, it organizes the different kinds of tools such as R and Python to make it easier for the readers to access a specific subsection. By the table of contents itself, the target audience is mainly for experts of some non-technical people who are interested in the different coding or statistical methods. For example, the experts already know most of these tools listed in the tools chapter. Also, when looking into the statistical methods section, there are subsections listed within each method. However, the non-technical people want to know more about the tools, and instead of toggling a certain page to get to a certain section or subsection, this kind of audience can click on the section. For example, clicking on the time series analysis method takes you to the section as shown. Now here are the 10 different ways. Here are the different ways the document is effective in certain ways. In section 3.2, the subsections seem decently chunked into tables with a brief paragraph description above it, a good part of considerable text, and this is a good consistent pattern to help ease the reader's attention, as well as follow some form of parallel structure within each subsection for the non-technical audience. Tables themselves represent the authors being resourceful with the amount of content, organization, and paper used to optimize the purpose being explained to the audience groups previously mentioned. A neat strategy that the European Union did when creating this document is that the tables have shorthand abbreviations of groups. From these tables, we notice that their author organizes a list of needs and abbreviate in the form of N number. He does the same functionality within the task in the form of T number. The table's resourcefulness is shown even more in a way to reference sections or previous tables with the content mentioned to the reader. For example, in this table within section 3.4, the last two columns are in the form of T number representing task and D number representing deliverables. If the reader ever needs to figure out what the task number is, there are previous reference tables with each task associated. Once this information is grasped, our audience will have some context to understand the requirements that achieve this document's purpose completely. As you can see here, the requirements are listed in a way where they are grouped into 4 requirement clusters. So this makes the tables become even more useful to inform the reader in addition to being chunked. Although the writer's use of tables to perform this purpose, there are some revisions that need to be addressed. There's this abbreviations and acronyms table by itself. Since this contradicts the paper's space resourcefulness, it makes no sense to do this. A possible suggestion is to place this table in page 2 under the author list table. In this way, the report's abstract is introduced first. And then the reader has some context beforehand before reaching the table of contents. In terms of graphics or pictures, this here is the only figure or illustration that is displayed in the entire document, but there are some sections that would make sense to have a sample of code or a graphic to explain and supplement the deep details better. For example, subsections 3.5.2 to 3.5.9 do not have a visual of some kind, as there are detailed and varied analysis or statistical methods, so the reader might need some images to distinguish the different methods better. Each statistical method in Chapter 4, such as R and Python, lacks any logos or sample code used to differentiate between the tools, syntaxes, and code organization. It is critical to include this, as it makes the non-technical reader audience get a bit lost as to how the tools are different. Throughout the entire report, the font overall is Arial font entirely. As you can see, the font size is varied to distinguish between the chapter, the section, and the content. However, these 2 pages, for example, lack certain strategic methods to make the text more easier to read and follow. For example, maybe some color or some of the sections or a different and varied type of font would make it more organized and consistent to recognize the style the author is trying to follow. There is little to no bolding on either the chapters or sections. The only instance of bolding is used in the table headers, but not in the actual chapter or sections names themselves. In conclusion, although there are some styling or layout issue revisions based on my viewpoint as a reader of this document, this information is chunked properly for the reader's ease, making it considerable. The primary purpose to inform the reader about the statistical analysis and data mining requirements is conveyed throughout the document entirely for both expert and non-technical audience groups. Thank you very much.